Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain moments in your life that you will never forget. Your first kiss, the day that you get married, maybe it's the birth of your first child. Today is not one of those moments. Welcome to the Game Flow Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, James Mondor. I'm joined once again by my lovely girlfriend, Miss Hannah. Hannah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me again. I'm so excited to be here and contribute nothing.
Well, I am so excited for today. We have so much to talk about. Another great weekend of college football, NFL, and also something fun that we did. We went to an NBA game. We got to see the Celtics play. How
Yeah,
was
it
that? Did you like it?
That was fun.
Was that your first NBA game?
No. What?
Hannah and I's first date was to an NBA game.
First unofficial date, by the way,
First
actually.
unofficial date was to an NBA game.
The Orlando Magic.
Orlando
versus
Magic versus the Indiana Pacers was our first unofficial date. But this weekend, we got to see my favorite team, the Boston Celtics.
Versus the Orlando Magic.
Versus the Orlando Magic. No, but it was so much fun. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the NBA and the Celtics. Then we'll move on into what my returning listeners are more used to: some college football, some NFL football, and yeah. So grab yourself a drink. Hannah and I got some Dunkin' iced coffee.
Sponsored. Just kidding, we're not.
Yeah. Well, Dunkin' maybe if you want to. All right. Well, let's hop right in. So the Celtics have a very different team than what they've had the past couple of years. Obviously, most notable loss was All-Star, All NBA forward Jason Tatum, who will likely miss most of, if not the entire season, with a torn Achilles. Some other notable changes to the team include the loss of Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Al Horford, who all left in the offseason to either free agency or trades. And those were all just to get under the luxury tax. So you know how in NFL there's a salary cap?
Yeah.
In the NBA there's like the same thing. There's like levels to it. So
Wait, what's the one we were talking about this the other day? Oh, baseball doesn't have a salary cap.
One. So NBA has one, but you can like go over it, but then you gotta like pay a tax on it, which goes to all the other teams.
Oh.
And the Celtics were like way over it, and if you're like over the tax like multiple years in a row, then you pay a higher percentage of the tax. So they were gonna owe like a lot of money to pretty much everyone. So Celtics had to dump some salary cap, trade away some guys, and just were unable to re-sign some other players. But that's the price that you pay when you want to win a championship. Celtics are only 2 years removed from it. But obviously a very different team this year. They've had a pretty bad start to the season. But they did had one guy in the offseason who's been playing pretty well, Anthony Simons. He's been really good off the bench. He was the one that scored 25 points in the first half the other day.
Good.
Yeah. So he's been playing well. Celtics are currently 5-7 and are 10th in the East. This is one of the worst starts that they've had in a while. But I think all Celtics fans kind of knew that this season would be rough. This team has been finals contenders for the past 4 or 5 years, and I, along with probably most other Celtics fans, are already looking forward to next year. Hopefully with a better roster, maybe we can make some either free agent signings, but we have more money to play with next year. But this season, they're not looking good. But I will say it was really nice to see them win on the road in Orlando the other day. I had so much fun at the game. I don't know about you, Hannah. Did you have fun?
No, I had a blast. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, oh, who's going to win? Honestly, I didn't really care either way, obviously, because the Magic's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's so corny, but it has a special place in my heart because it was our first unofficial date.
Well,
um, but I did wear a Celtics
she
jersey,
did. Jason
so
Tatum. But yeah, it was really nice to see them win that game, obviously, because I was there. But I expect them to do pretty bad this season. Um, so other injuries around the NBA. So like I said, Jason Tatum is out for the season, most likely the entire season with a torn Achilles. There's a couple other guys that have that as well. So Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. Pacers went to the finals last year, and Tyrese Halliburton is
Mm.
by far their best player. He is out for the season with a torn Achilles, as well as All Star Damian Lillard. He is also going to be out with a torn Achilles. All of these guys suffered these injuries in the playoffs last year, so it's really tough to see that. Obviously, like the Pacers this year are terrible without Tyrese Halliburton. They've started 1-9, which is really bad. 1 win, 9 losses.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
how
for
many?
for a
Because they play a
team,
lot of games. Like, how many games do you think?
82 games is this season.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 1-9. I
Who have they
mean,
faced?
uh, it's a different team every night. I'm not sure exactly who they
Never
face.
mind.
Another notable guy who's been absent for the start of the season is LeBron James. He has yet to play a game this year as he has been out with a back injury. This is the first time in his career
LeBron James.
that LeBron has missed the start of a season. So that, I mean, is really interesting.
Why is he out?
He hurt his back. He had his back injury. So those are a couple guys that are going to be absent this season for the NBA. All right, so real quick to finish up with the NBA, obviously, like I said, Hannah and I, we went to the Magic game in Orlando. That's where we went to last year as well. So the Magic, they are a very interesting team. They have a lot of young talent who I think they're pretty dang good. Their best player, Paolo Banchero, is 22. Anthony Black is 21. Jalen Suggs is 24. Franz Wagner is 24. These guys all have a lot of potential and could definitely see them all being all stars. So keep an eye out for the Magic, because I guarantee you, in the next 2 to 3 years, they are going to be fighting for championships. Also, one other thing about the Orlando Magic, Hannah loves their mascot stuff.
No, I think he's like weird. I think he's weird. I like the way he interacts with the kids. I thought it was cute. I like watching him run around. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching him take pictures of the kids, and there's like things shooting out of his nose, and I'm like, "Yeah, you lost me. You lost me. That's so creepy." If I was a kid taking a picture with a little dragon, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fun," and I would be immediately traumatized by the fact that something came shooting out of his
I think
nose.
it's funny though. It adds a little bit of excitement,
I'm sure
and
you think it's hilarious. I bet you would think it's hilarious if I went to take a
trauma
picture.
builds character. So you got to teach them young.
I bet you would think it was so funny if I went to take a picture with him and he went, I'd jump.
That would be great. All right, guys. So moving on to weekly review for the college football. So what an amazing weekend of college football that we just had. Indiana wins a close one over the Nittany Lions, 27-24. Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Alabama, they all took care of business with ease. Texas Tech steamrolled the BYU Cougars 29-7 and handed the Cougars their first loss of the season. So this was like one of the biggest matchups of the week. It was a 7 versus 8 ranked team. It was either 7 versus 8.
Do you know BYU's?
Hmm?
Do you know BYU's like record?
Yeah, now they just took their first L of the season.
BYU.
BYU. That was their first loss.
Oh, they're the Cougars.
They are the Cougars.
That's
BYU
crazy.
Cougars. So they took their first. They were handed their first loss of the season by the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So that's a really interesting game. Both those teams are in the Big 12, which is the same conference. And this is going to be a very close race between them two. I would not be surprised if they meet up again in the Big 12 championship as the top two teams in the Big 12. Um, Oregon also came out on top with a close win over the Iowa Hawkeyes, 18-6. So
A close win.
Well, it was close until the end. It was a close game. Some notable upsets this weekend were Wake Forest over Virginia, 16-9. California over Louisville, 29-26, and Wisconsin over Washington, 13-10. So those were some big upsets last week. Ranked teams that lost to unranked teams. So pretty interesting. Now we're going to go over the current college football rankings from the AP. So the top 5 all stayed the same from last week. Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5. Texas Tech, with their win over BYU, moves up 2 places to number 6. Ole Miss drops down 1 to 7. Ole Miss played the Citadel last weekend, who is like some random military college, so no one really cares. But they moved down 1. Oregon moves up to 8. Notre Dame moves up to 9. Texas moves up to 10. Oklahoma to 11. BYU drops 5 places to 12.
Even though they won?
BYU lost.
Never mind. My bad.
The Utah Utes stay the same at 13. Vanderbilt moves up 2 to 14. Miami moves up 3 to 15. Georgia Tech moves up 1 to 16. USC is up to 17. Michigan moves up to 18. Now here are the guys that lost. UVA, Virginia, down to 19. That's 5 places from last week. Louisville also down 5 places from last week to 20. Iowa is down 1 to 21. Pitt is moving up 2 places to 22. Tennessee is up 2 places to 23. And ranked, who were not ranked last week, is USF and Cincinnati. Those are 24 and 25. So those are the current college football rankings. Obviously, the end of the season is coming close. So we got a lot to look forward to with the end of college football. So some new breaking news surrounding Brian Kelly and LSU. You know who Brian Kelly is, right?
Yeah, I've heard the news.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard the news. I've heard news about Brian Kelly.
So Brian Kelly, I guess, wasn't fired from
What?
LSU.
Did they tell
So I guess they relieved him of his duties is the language that they used. He wasn't fired, okay? And or something like that. Now basically LSU is trying to find a way around not paying Brian Kelly the $54 million buyout that is part of his contract. So LSU's attorneys are claiming that they have grounds for cause. And Brian Kelly's attorneys have filed a suit seeking a declaratory judgment confirming that Kelly was fired without cause and that he is entitled to his payout.
Yeah, that's nuts. I
So-
think he should probably get his payout. LSU is just looking for a way out of that.
Yeah, LSU's looking for saying that he broke some code of conduct or something. This is all legal stuff. I wish we had an attorney that we could talk to and maybe get some more insight on this. Maybe we'll hear from one later. Well, that's gonna do it for college football. Moving on to the NFL weekly review.
And we're back.
And we are back. So what a wonderful weekend of NFL football that we got to enjoy this weekend. So starting off with the early game on Sunday in Berlin, the Colts win in overtime versus the Falcons. And running back Jonathan Taylor had an absolutely monster game, 32 carries, 244 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Okay, so for all you guys at home, keep this game in mind when they're discussing MVP voting at the end of the season, because this might be the game that wins him MVP.
What determines an MVP? You keep talking about this,
Most
and
valuable player. It's
well, I
voted on by
know what an
like
MVP
it's
is.
voted on by I think like reporters and stuff like that. They get to vote. Um, but I mean, 244 yards is insane. If you have over 100
Passing?
rushing yards, that's on the ground.
Oh,
244. If you have 100 on the ground, if you have like 100 rushing yards and like a touchdown, that's like a great game. And he had 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's
that goes
crazy.
crazy.
He had like I mean, it's just ridiculous. So keep this in mind when they're talking about MVP voting, because this game is going to be one to remember. Colts quarterback Daniel Jones struggled with turnovers again, 1 interception and 3 fumbles. 2 of those fumbles were recovered, but at the end of the day, if you're a quarterback, you need to be able to hold on to the football and protect it. I mean, this is the second week in a row where he's had 3 fumbles. Yeah,
Mm.
3 last week, 3 this week, and if they're getting recovered, getting jumped on, like, I guess some people say no harm, no foul, but, like, those fumbles, I mean, if you watch games, once that ball's on the ground, it can go either way. It all depends on who's close. So these are definitely things to watch out for, because 3 fumbles in a game is a lot, and to do that 2 weeks in a row is, like, very worrisome. Daniel Jones obviously having a great season, but, I mean, when he was with the Giants, he was pretty bad, like, very stinky doo-doo, one of the worst QBs in the league. Obviously playing great this year, but you would hate to see him fall back into his old ways, like, how he was with the Giants. Uh, and then as for the Falcons, I mean, another heartbreaking loss, a loss in overtime. Obviously, last week lost by 1 point to the Patriots with that missed extra point.
Yeah,
So I kind of feel bad for the Falcons.
I don't.
Drake London is playing. Yeah, neither do I actually.
Yeah.
Drake London is playing amazing. And just close loss after close loss. So kind of feel bad for them, but I don't. Moving on to the New England Patriots. They have won 7 in a row, beating the Buccaneers 28-3 in Tampa Bay. Now, Drake May was not as accurate as he has been in previous weeks, okay? But that was expected going up against better competition. But one amazingly bright star in this game was rookie running back Travion Henderson. He had his breakout game and may have secured himself as the running back 1. Travion Henderson rushed 14 times for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. So an amazing game for him. I feel like he's been splitting reps all season with, Ramondre Stevenson, and then who's that other guy that they picked up, Jennings or something like that they picked up last week. And so it's
Sure.
really good to see him solidify himself as the running back 1. Another bright star was wide receiver Mac Hollins, led the team in targets and receptions, and Stephon Diggs and Kyle Williams each had a touchdown. But one thing that doesn't show up in the box score is how well each team's defense played. The Pats punted the ball 5 times in this game, and Tampa Bay punted 6 times. So a very defensive heavy game where if you're just looking at the box score, you're not going to see that. Each team played really well, and it was a great game to watch. And then obviously right after that, the Celtics go and win one. So a wonderful Sunday for all of the New England sports fans out
And
there.
a terrible day for all the Florida sports
Yeah,
fans.
terrible day. Terrible day for all the Florida sports fans. But a great day. Drake May now has the best odds at winning MVP at plus 230.
Whoa.
Whoa! So Jonathan Taylor, Drake May, gonna be a close one.
Whoa.
Moving on, the Bears squeak by with a win over the Giants. after
They just do what the Bears do again.
yeah. So they squeaked by with a win after scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart did have to leave the game early with concussion protocol, and the Bears took advantage. They won the game 24-20, and after the game on Monday, Giants head coach Brian Dable was subsequently fired.
Wait, who?
The Giants head coach,
Oh.
he was fired on Monday, which I genuinely think that was a really bad call. I mean, the Giants are so banged up. Uh, your running back Cam Scattaboo is out for the season. Your star wide receiver Malik Neighbors is out for the season, and they're playing well in these games. Then you lose your quarterback for the fourth quarter. Like, I don't think. I mean, Brian Dable hasn't been the best head coach, but they were definitely trending in the right direction. So it's kind of sad to see him go.
I heard Brian Kelly's looking for a job.
Dable in his 4 seasons in New York, he went 20, 40, and 1. So 20 wins, 40 losses, and 1 tie. So the Giants are now without a head coach, but their interim head coach has named former third-string quarterback Jameis Winston as the starter for this weekend's game. So that'll be something that we definitely talk about in the second episode later on this week. Moving on, the Dolphins stun the Bills and win big 30-13. Dolphins running back Devon Achane, who I have on my fantasy team. He had 22 carries for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. Achane also had 6 receptions for 51 yards. And Miami's quarterback Tua turned the ball over because his name is Tua Tagovailoa, but it sounds like turned the ball over because he turns the ball over a lot. That one's for you guys at home. Still struggled with 2 interceptions.
Did you see me laugh? I didn't laugh.
I know you wanted to. So as a Patriots fan, this makes me so happy because now the Patriots are up 2 games on the Bills.
Oh yeah, you wanted them to lose. Yeah.
So this is amazing. Love to see it. The Patriots are pulling out in front and solidifying themselves. Honestly, I don't want to say Super Bowl, making the Super Bowl this year, but playoffs are like looking like a lock. I mean,
I was gonna say I keep seeing like these things pop up on my page that like put the Patriots in the playoffs, and then also right next to it, the Bears are also in the playoffs. So I just think it's a big joke. We're
All
back
right.
with more lights.
We are back with more lighting. Isn't that wonderful?
And the only thing we're missing now is a space heater.
You're from Chicago, like
It's freezing.
Babe, it is literally 62 degrees out.
It's freezing.
For the friends and family at home, please type in the comments what the weather is where you are right now. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens beat the Vikings on the road and moved to 4-5. And I've said this every single week here on the show, and I will continue to say it. Watch out for the Ravens. Baltimore has now won 3 in a row and are just 1 game behind the Steelers in the AFC North.
That feels like it's 52. No, please go on. The Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens. So watch out for them. I've been saying this week in and week out. They're going to be clawing and fighting their way back here. They know what it takes to make the playoffs, and they have Lamar Jackson. So they are going to be a team to watch, and they do it again. They win big in on the road. So good for them. Watch out for the Ravens. Now here is the results that we have all been waiting for.
Drum roll, please.
All week. The Jets come away with a win in the Tank Bowl over the Cleveland Browns.
That's nuts.
Bum, bum, bum.
For the Cleveland Browns.
This has got to be the most New York Jets thing to do ever, and also the most Cleveland Browns thing to do ever. I mean, how do you win a game right after trading away your two best players.
I honestly thought they were gonna both lose.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, how do you lose to a team that just traded away their two best players? It makes no sense. How?
Yeah, I don't
How
know.
are you gonna do that?
Well, because they're
So
the Cleveland
they are
Browns.
the Cleveland Browns. So to the Jets
Cunts.
fans, good for you, but like your team is still trash. They're so bad. Ugh. And the Browns, you are even worse. You're even worse.
Bad day to be a Cleveland.
Yeah. And listen to this. The Saints won. And they're terrible.
Against who?
The Saints beat the Panthers.
Well, oh wait, and didn't the Panthers just beat Green Bay?
Yeah. The circle of life. Let me tell you, the Saints, who are also terrible, they beat the Panthers. And so one thing that this just goes to show you is that ass teams are not ass all the time. At the end of the day, these guys are professionals and are paid millions of dollars to play football. They were probably the best player on their high school team and probably one of the best players on their
Maybe I
college
could
team.
replace somebody on the Cleveland Browns.
I don't think so.
Do you think I can get an in saying my last name is Cleveland?
I don't.
Trust me, I know ball.
All right. I think, sometimes we just forget how good these guys are at what they do. So you know what? Shout out to the Saints, shout out to the Jets, and shout out to the Dolphins. Three really bad teams that all came away with wins this weekend. Good job for them. Cleveland, you lost. Be better. But yeah, these guys are professionals. They're paid millions. Like you can sit there and say, "Oh, they suck," and I do sit here and I say that they suck, but they're all way better than me at football. Anyways, the Texans had a great comeback against the Jaguars this week, scoring 26 points in the fourth quarter. Texans backup quarterback Davis Mills had a great game with 292 yards and 3 total touchdowns. Great game for them. One thing to look at if you play fantasy football, a great tight end who you might see on the waiver wire is Dalton Schultz. Definitely recommend picking him up. He scored about 18 points last week with a touchdown. And Davis Mills, if he continues to play, is a check down merchant. Loves looking for Dalton Schultz. Pick him up on your fantasy team. I have him on my fantasy team.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's next?
Moving on. The Seattle Seahawks win big over their division rival, the Arizona Cardinals, 44-22. The Seahawks offense played very good, which we all expected, but Seahawks defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence got 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown in this game. So that is when, you know what a fumble is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means he's on defense.
Okay.
He picks the ball up and he runs it back for a touchdown.
Okay.
And he did that twice in this game. So the last time that this happened was in 2020 when Jeremy Chin had 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown, and this has only ever happened 4 times in NFL history.
And 2 of them were on the same day in the same game.
What? No. 2
before that?
So
So
no.
he did it twice in the game where he did the little
The it's only happened 4 times ever where the same player has gotten 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown in the same game.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. For all of you at home, there you go. I don't know. All right, friends and family. So, moving on, the Rams beat their division rival as well. The 49ers, 42-26, with great performances all around. Quarterback Matthew Stafford finished with 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. Running backs Kyron Williams and Blake Corum combined for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Niners, quarterback Mac Jones had a good game with 319 yards and 3 touchdowns and an interception. San Francisco struggled running the ball as the team combined for only 74 rushing yards.
What's their record right now?
Who?
San Francisco.
San Francisco? I don't have it written down in my notes. Let me check.
Are they good?
They were pretty good. We can look real quick. San Francisco's record is 6-4.
Oh.
The Rams are 7-2. So they're tied with the Seattle Seahawks, top of the NFC West at 7-2. So that was a very highly anticipated game. The Rams, I mean, they are just steamrolling everybody this year. They are actually my pick to make the Super Bowl for the NFC.
No, really?
Yeah, they are looking really good. I think they look better than the Eagles.
Well, I think people are saying like the Rams, and then what's the other team? I don't remember.
Probably the Eagles or the Lions is another team people are talking about.
I think it's the Eagles.
Yeah. The Lions, they beat the Commanders in the presence of the Commander-in-Chief. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum. That is right. President Donald Trump was in attendance and even joined Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma in the broadcasting booth and did some play-by-play announcing.
Doesn't he have a country around?
Well, who doesn't love football? That just
Oh my
shows you
God.
football is for everybody, okay? Lions quarterback Jared Goff had 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs had 142 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So, great night for the Lions. Obviously lost last week to the Vikings, so great bounce-back win for them. Commanders were without their quarterback Jaden Daniels, and we're stuck with Marcus Mariota at the helm. In a highly anticipated Sunday night football matchup, the Chargers beat the Steelers at home 25-10. America's sweetheart, Justin Herbert, had 220 yards and a touchdown. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers struggled, completing only half of his passing attempts and throwing 2 interceptions. The Chargers moved to 7-3, and I think very soon they will overtake the Broncos atop the AFC West. And the Steelers fall to 5-4, who could also lose their top of the division to the Ravens. So Broncos fans need to really watch out for these Chargers because the Broncos, like I said in the last episode, are a bunch of frauds. They are terrible. They're going to keep squeaking by with wins. And yeah, they are frauds. Drake May. Another highly anticipated primetime matchup on Monday night between the Eagles and the Packers. Well, this game was super boring. So 2 teams that have pretty good offenses. The game finished only 10-7 with the Eagles coming out on top. Neither quarterback was able to throw for more than 200 yards, and all of the scoring came in the second half. Only 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns of the game. Sorry. Cut that
Words?
out. Bleh. The only
Maybe
2
I won't.
touchdowns of the game came in the fourth quarter. Both teams punted the ball 5 times. Each team fumbled once, and each team had a turnover on downs. So Philadelphia moved to 7-2 and are still on top of the NFC East. And Green Bay falls to 5-3 and are third in the NFC North behind the Lions and the Bears. Oh my.
Nice.
You like that one? I was
Yeah.
good, right? Oh my. You guys get it?
Oh my God. You have to ask them if they get it.
But Green Bay, a team that a lot of people really liked at the beginning of the season, are now third. I mean, they're still 5-3. There's a lot of football left to be played this season. Um, but they are
Jeez.
going to be on the outside looking in, very similar to the Kansas City Chiefs on the outside looking in. They're in
Mm.
tough divisions, and they both got a couple losses on their record now. So, um, very, very interesting. I want to know what you guys at home, who you guys think is going to be MVP, and maybe who you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl. Let me know in the comments below.
Who's gonna be in this?
Yeah, who do you think is going to be in it? I think it's going to be the. I think it's going to be the Bills. As much as I hate to say it, I think it's going to be the Bills, and I think it's going to be the Rams.
Can I
Bills
see
and
the
Rams.
standings? I
Yeah, of
wanna
course.
see the standings before I make my.
Here, I'm going to give you the conference standings. Okay.
Sure.
So the top is the AFC, bottom is the NFC.
Okay. Um. Ooh, that'd be fun to see the Colts in the Super Bowl. Just kidding. I think it's gonna be the. Hmm. Hmm. Aw.
Hmm.
The Bills versus the Lions.
Bills versus Lions. That would be a pretty good one to watch. Lions have never made the Super Bowl. Bills have never won the Super Bowl.
That'd be so
I
fun.
know. That'd be really cool. Well, everyone at home, thank you so much for stopping by, taking some time out of your day to come and listen to us yap about some football. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Make sure to call your mom, tell her you love her. I don't know, hug somebody, pet a dog, touch some dirt. Have a good night.